Hi there, this is the pre-welcome to the channel. I apologize, this is going to be a little longer than normal and there's going to be a few breaks with a bit more information. Here's the video. Hi, welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to attempt an easy fruitcake. Now this recipe has been the, I guess, church recipe now for decades. I don't really know how long it's been around. The recipe originates from two different women, Marian and Marcia. They basically have the exact same recipe with few minor tweaks. One uses pecans, one uses walnuts, that kind of thing. So I have bad photocopies of both. Now, Marian's is the oldest and we lost her 6 months shy of her 100th birthday, and the recipe was won at the auction in 2019 and I have a bad photocopy of it. So I'm going to read to you real quick what's on the back of the recipe card so you'll know what I'm doing and why. And just because it's really a nice little dedication. Marian spread apple jelly over the top of the cake and decorated the top with walnuts and pieces of the dried candied fruit, pulling out whole cherries to cut for the top. I'm just going to use cut cherries for the top, it's fine. Marian loved seeing the bidding on the cake at the church fair, so very special to her. In memory of her, this year, 2019, the cake comes with her special cake dish. I haven't seen the cake dish, I'm sure it's lovely. And the recipe. Enjoy the holiday season for many years to come. Merry Christmas. And then I have Marcia's fruitcake, which somehow got blown up really, really big. Hers dedication at the bottom says, "This has been a family favorite for over 30 years. Since it's very moist, even people who don't like fruitcake like this." Well, Marcia, let's give it a shot and check it out and see if that's true. I hope I can do this recipe justice for these ladies. Let's do it. We're going to measure out and sift our flour. We're going to do this using the fluff scoop level method. So we can fluff it up, scoop it into our 1 cup measure. Oh, come on. See how it's stuck in there? That's what we don't want to have happen with this one. So once you got a nice mountain on it, I'm gonna level it. Come on. There we go. Alright, once it is nice and level, then I'm gonna pull this out of the way. I'm going to sift this into here. Okay, we're going to do that for our other 1.5 cups. For our easy fruit cake, we will need 2.5 cups of sifted flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 eggs, 1 can sweetened condensed milk, 1 jar rum mincemeat, 1 to 1.5 cups of chopped pecans or walnuts, your choice. Or you can mix them. You could do a 1/2 cup of each, something like that. That could be fun. 2 pounds candied fruit and rum. And that's for the fruit cake. Now, of these 2 recipes, one of them is done in loaves and the other one is done in a tube. And we're going to do this Marian style where she would cover the top of her cake in apple jelly and then decorate it with candied cherries and whole nuts. So she used walnuts in her recipe, but we're going to follow Marcia's recipe in this instance and use pecans instead. This is where I've already changed up this recipe just a little bit. So I'm going to put all of our fruit and nuts together to begin with. So get those mixed together, and then from there I'm going to pour some of our rum into this and just let it sit to the side so the fruit and the nuts can soak up some of that. Okay, now to this I'm going to add 1 very full shot of our rum, and I'm just going to combine that well, and then I'm going to set it to the side while I make the rest. Now Marian's recipe never told me how much. Marcia said about 2 to 3 tablespoons, but added it a little bit later. So I'm just threw in a shot here, and then I'll probably add where Marcia said to use it. So now we're just gonna set that to the side. Oldest fruitcake. That's not me, I'm not the oldest fruitcake. This might probably be the oldest recipe that I will ever create in my entire life. Well, not this one in particular, but when I do the aged one. It's taken me so long to do the aged one because I didn't feel brave enough to do it to begin with. And then I finally got brave and went, I'm gonna do it this year, and then I got sick, and there went the 2 weeks of my life when I was supposed to start it to have it ready in time for Christmas. Unfortunately, it seems that we will have to wait, and we'll give the aged one a shot, hopefully next year. But for now, back to easy fruitcake. A little bit more prep before we can really get started. And so we got my tube pan, and Marion's recipe says butter it. Marcia says grease and flour. We're gonna use baking spray. Okie dokie, that's done. Preheat our oven to 300 degrees. Now we add our baking soda to our flour and combine them. And then we're gonna set them aside. Next we combine our eggs, which we want well beaten. Okay, so 2 well beaten eggs and 1 can sweetened condensed milk. And then we're gonna mix this until well combined. Okay, and I'm gonna let that bake 2 hours and come back. Not gonna go big on anything but a little bit of fruitcake history. It's time. Now, 25 different countries, give or take, have their own variations of fruitcake. It may be a lot more than that. That's just what I was able to find in the little research I did. Wasn't much. It is a medieval recipe that dates back to at least Roman times. They found that they could preserve nuts and fruits for long periods of time using alcohol, and that method eventually turned into this dessert. I think that's pretty cool. I love weird history and weird things. Now, this is history for you. There is a aged fruitcake in Tecumseh, Michigan that was baked in 1878 that's still sitting on a shelf in Michigan, and they re-soak it in alcohol every year, or they take care of it and preserve it as they're supposed to. In 2017, there was an analysis done on this fruitcake, and they said that it was still in excellent condition and almost edible. Personally, I don't think I would ever be brave enough to try something that was baked in 1878. I'm finishing up the fruitcake, and when Joey gets home from work, we'll have him give it a shot. In the meantime, one more little bit of tidbit fact about fruitcake. Why has the fruitcake become so ridiculed by the United States population? It's because they've become mass-produced. It started back in 1913 when they had mail-order fruitcakes. And that became a big thing, especially around like the holidays and stuff. And then we get to 1935, and there was a southern fruitcake company that came into an abundance of nuts all of a sudden, and that's where they coined the phrase in their commercials, nuttier than a fruitcake. You can still get them in charity brochures for fundraisers and stuff, and at your local supermarket. And the ones at the local supermarket, I don't know if you've noticed, they just look like a little brick. I'm assuming that this is going to be much better than that, but we will give it a shot and we will see. So it is time to be brave and try the fruitcake.
Choose your weapon. I have chosen the fork.
Here.
I like it. It's very dense. It takes a little work to get through, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's very fruity and spicy and leathery.
Lots of nuts.
Yes.
Pecans.
Yes. It fits right in and identifies.
Citrus. There should be.
Ew, it's heavy. That's what it was. Heavy. It was almost like
Orange.
spruce.
There should be, or there's lots of different zests in here.
I just got a huge piece of orange zest. That's what it was. All the zesties. It's fun.
It is. Alright. So this is really good. And I think that people should bring this recipe back. I do. Next year we will try the aged one. For now, the easy one, so good. So good.
It is delicious. She took one bite. She's still working on it.
This is just incredibly yummy. If this were undercooked, it would definitely be that stodgy that Paul and Prue are always just stodgy. It is, dense is a good word, and this is a great, I could see how this would have been a great way for preserving it, especially the aged one, where you re-soak it in rum every year. Yeah, I think that this is wonderful. Alright, well until next time, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and would like to see more content like this, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I have uploaded again. And from all of us at the channel, take care, be safe, and...
Oh, it's beautiful. Fruitcake. All the different colored little fruits living together in one cake.